Good evening. I would like to address the question that has been asked by the professor of the class. The question is, when a complaint is filed against a counselor, what is the process of filing a complaint? In addition to how is the counselor's due process ensured? And what is the actual purpose of the discipline? For me, I looked up on the Virginia Department of Health Professions, and I have found where just about anybody can actually file a complaint. To kind of read a little bit about what it states, it says the Virginia Department of Health Professions, DHP, works to ensure the safe and competent delivery of the health care to the citizens of the Commonwealth of Virginia. There are actually 13 health regulatory boards here within the Department of Health Professions in the state of Virginia, one of those actually being in the field of counseling. To try to put it into perspective about the actual enforcement process, like I stated before, anybody can file a complaint that can be done through online. You can actually call in. There is a telephone number that you can contact. Once the complaint is filed within the DHP jurisdiction, the Enforcement Division records has a tracking system, and then they assess the complaint. From there, they actually go in and investigate. The investigator, he collects all the important information, the data, evidence, including copies, documents, will actually interview. From there, information is confidential. The investigative staff is unable to share any details with anyone. And then they also try to complete everything within the investigation within 3 months. After that, then the case is then forwarded to the board for consideration of evidence. The next area would be that they would actually, after the investigation is conducted, they summarize it in a report, which is still, once again, kept very confidential. From there, there could be possible board action that can be taken, given the fact that there's a range of actions that can actually happen if you're found in violation. One of them actually being a closed case if nothing was found. The other one is what they state as being a consent agreement. This is actually used by the board in lieu of public discipline, but only if the case is involving minor misconduct, where there is little to no injury to the patient or to the public, or any repetition that would be included that the counselor may do again. The next one is the consent order, which is an agreement between the board and the licensee to settle the case without having to conduct an informal conference or a formal hearing. And from there, the consent orders do contain findings of fact and sanctions and the waiver of rights. There also happens to further proceedings. In addition to it is part of a public record, so anybody can go online and actually look up the counselor through the license and see if there's been any disciplinary action that's been taken against them. What is the purpose of discipline? I would say it would be for the fact to ensure that clients and just the general public in general is actually their best interest is being looked out for. In addition to, once the board has reviewed the evidence and they've made the final decision, discipline imposed after an informal consent may be appealed, so the counselor can actually appeal it if they so choose. So that is about all the information that I have in regards to the process of filing a complaint against the counselor here in the state of Virginia.